Okay guys, so if you remember Monday's stream, it was a struggle. We were trying to make a trailer, weren't we? And oh my goodness, I'm going to admit, I thought I wasn't going to do it. I thought, oh my god, there is no way, because it just seemed like there was no chance, but I did it. I'm amazing. I'm learning this. Hi Kung, how are you doing? And Kung, thank you so much for that bat video. I saw it and I appreciate it. Thank you for thinking of me and sending that over. How are you doing, Kung, though? Good to see you. Why have I got a stupid bit of dumb hair that's decided to like stick out today? It keeps coming out. I have to get one of those little clip things, and if it keeps doing that, because it is a little obnoxious, not just for me but for you guys. Half the time I cam off, as if I'd ever though. So yes guys, I'm really happy because Monday stream was bad. It was awful. Didn't get the much of the trailer done, and the clips, the video footage was getting FPS drops. I was like, oh crap, this isn't gonna happen. I'm not gonna do it. But I managed to put it together in like a night. But did I feel dead afterwards? Let's be honest. Felt dead. So I was asleep the whole day. I'm good, TY. The video was so intriguing. Loved it. Yeah. Is there a particular favourite part that you thought was the most intriguing? Always on the lookout for feedback. I had a bit of feedback from some folks. Somebody mentioned it was like super nostalgic to them, which is always a compliment that our game could give those feels. I think that's really cool. It looked awesome, Rose. Thank you, Ezreal. But honestly, I appreciate it. I appreciate the support on that tweet, because I would go as far as saying that that's the most important tweet I've ever done. Ever. Because of the potential from that tweet, if you know what I mean. It's way more important than your average tweet. And we talked about the pitch the game a lot last week, so you guys know how cool it is and how many potential eyes can end up on your project from it. And I've got the Twitter up, so thanks for the ridiculous amount of likes and retweets. Hang on, where is it? Let's find it, because there was a spreadsheet. Here it is. Some very kind, hard-working person made this spreadsheet of every single submission yesterday, and I don't think it's not official. It's not like the official one, but it's there, and we're on it, and we got into the top 70 out of hundreds of submissions in regards to engagement on the tweets. So that is, I think, for our community size, that is very, very impressive, because we're tiny. We're a tiny community, we are. And the Raindrop RPG Twitter itself, we had less than 120 follows at the time of the posting. And that is a very small Twitter, and the fact that we could get that much engagement from such a small following is something to be proud of. So thank you for those that helped. I want to be more than top 70. I'm very ambitious. I want Raindrop Chronicles to be a success, and I'm not gonna hold back of doing everything I possibly can to make it as good as it can be, and try and do things to make it really cool and interesting and different and amazing, other than just the community aspect. Well, I think it's pretty obvious that the fact it's a community project is what is very special about it, but I'm not going to stop there. I want to make it awesome in every single way. So yes, I want to be more than I've got goals. I've got dreams to be more than just the top 70, but I think for our community size at present that is exceptional. So GG team, GG. Hi Hidden, it got our attention. Oh my goodness, yeah, you were the person that gave us a tweet. I appreciate that. And you're, funnily enough, you're doing a game that's very very driven by community as well, which is awesome to see, because I have never found any creator or dev do anything similar to us. It's a pretty unique thing, isn't it? So that's great, and thank you for the love and kind words as well. Welcome to the stream, Hidden. I appreciate you stopping by today. And as we all said, the amount of work you put into this project is an inspiration. Anyone knows, you can see it's a labour of love. Oh, thank you. Well, that is exactly what I hope people see, because it's the truth. That is what it is. Like, there is nothing else I really do with my life other than this project, apart from sleep and eat, and watch the odd YouTube video to wind down now and again. So I genuinely have to do it. It's like I live and breathe it. If without this, I'd feel like a slug with nothing going on in my life. This is what gives me life. Yes, it's amazing. Yeah, thank you, King. Yep, we were surprised and excited to see someone else doing this sort of thing. We were also very won over by the barrels. Yeah, you like them. That is great, because they are such, like, strange characters, aren't they? You don't see living barrels everywhere, do you? And I think they kind of show the tone and Raindrop Chronicles, what the sort of game it is. We've got a bit of a quirky sense of humour here, and that will be a sort of like theme and tone that we probably have throughout, although there will likely be some dark themes. Who knows? This is what I mean. Who knows is the motto here, because we don't know what's going to happen. With it all being improvised and written as we go along, it's very exciting to not know. But yes, guys, so feel free to have a look at this spreadsheet, because I only spotted this when I woke up today. I only noticed it. I'm going to get it up actually, because there you might find some other really cool games on here too. I had a little look through the submissions. I haven't had much chance to look through every single one because I spent a lot of time sleeping yesterday, but I've looked through some, and there's some really cool ones. And the fact that we're there, like, where are we? We were here, I can't find us now. We're there. That's where we are, which is, pretty high up when you like look at everything there, and that is, I'm very proud. Didn't think because we're still a growing community, and that's pretty good. I think is that my best tweet I ever had? No, because I did have another tweet that went viral earlier this year, but that wasn't Raindrop Chronicles related. That was related to something else. That tweet went like crazy viral, but I think this is my second most successful tweet I've ever done, so thank you all. Thank you. Who knows, let's find out. Yay. Yeah, so I'm glad you like the trailer. I wasn't going to release it and post until it was at least at a decent standard. I did have to cut some things out that I did have written down on the plan for the trailer, because I was just not going to have time to do everything. There was a few things that weren't shown, but I think we got the main things in, and I'm happy about that. We got the some of the standout things in our trailer, and yes, that is it really. I guess it's just time to chill for a bit now, because That took a lot of energy out of me doing that trailer in a single night. I won't be doing that again. Not where I will be rushing myself to death and having an all-nighter anyway. I'm not going to do that to myself again, because I prefer taking things at a leisurely pace so I can keep my fire burning. So I try to not do anything that's going to risk that burning out for the sake of our project, because it's such an epic long-term thing. So yeah, we're going to chill and take care of myself. Today we're going to just have a chill stream, and I thought we could do interiors. Let's get tiled up. Here we are. Here is our maps. So I can happily say that all our 7 maps currently in the game are done now. The map improvements are done, because this was a recent overhaul we did. It's like the second version of our mapping, because the first version was still pretty. It was nice, but it was done on parallax PNG images, and there was a number of things that weren't satisfying me about it. So we've switched to doing tiled, and I'm very happy with this approach, and we're going to continue doing this for all the maps forever now. And that will include the interiors as well, because we did interiors before in the RPG Maker tile editor, I believe. They weren't parallax maps. But I like that we can do them in tiled instead now, and potentially add more layers if we want to make the interiors look a little bit nicer, a little bit less bland potentially. I know I definitely want to completely overhaul the Rose cabin interior. It wasn't too bad before, but I think it could look even better. And if you've watched the Story So Far video, you'll have seen what that cabin looks like, because it's featured in there, which is on the YouTube channel, which the bot just posted actually. And we have the tavern, Aka Cafe, in armor shop, item shop to do, as well as Rose's cabin. I don't know why I call it Rose's cabin. I guess it's because she's in there in a cage. And we got this building, which we hadn't done before, but this is, I believe, the bank, Raindrop Bank, which every region zone will have. And that would be another way to get raindrops, and I'm sure we can build a bit of lore around that. I've got some very early ideas for that building, which we talked about in an early stream, around stream, I think it was before stream 20 actually. We had a discussion of how raindrops would be dealt with in the world, and in terms of distribution to each of the cities and things, and I'm sure we can have more chats about that at another time as well. But that is what that building is really. We've not spent any time on it. We didn't even do the inside, but I could see us at some point thinking about that and thinking of who actually works in there, what their job is. Do they give out raindrops? Do they trade raindrops for sort of loot? For raindrops? And do they give hunts out for raindrops potentially, like kill certain enemies to get more raindrops? A hunt kind of side quest type could be interesting to get them, because we do have to consider that, how we'll be getting raindrops in the game, because that's our currency. For those that don't know, if anyone's popping in for the first time, hi Van, how's it going? Good morning, afternoon or evening. Good morning. Hope you're doing well, Van. Thank you for the retweet on a very important week yesterday. Super appreciated. You've helped us get to the top 70 of all the submissions. Huzzah.
And again, thank you for your stream.
Thank you so much for the Twitch Prime, Van. That is 5 months now. Almost half a year. My goodness me, can we have some hype in chat for that? Special Twitch Prime sub. Thank you, Van. I got an emote too. Thank you. What does everyone think about those emotes? I think I like the Pride ones best. And some of those, the Christmas ones as well from the year before. I'm going to do a big sneeze. If I do that, it won't come out. You're welcome. Not sure how that works, lol. Pride ones were better. Yeah, the Pride ones are like super colourful and pretty. I want to see more of those emotes, like in the future for other like events. That'd be nice. More pretty emotes. What? I have no idea what they are, but they're not the most prettiest. They're just like symbols. They look very gamer bro kind of emotes to me. I'm being a bit judgmental, but I don't know. I have no idea what it is. But yeah, it's nice that we're getting them at least. Yeah, the penguins are my favourite as well. They are called hyperscape emotes. Yeah. I never heard of hyperscape. I'm not really like in the know of Twitch culture though, to be honest. I hope you're doing well, Van. We had a little bit of a chat just before you came in, just about the picture game thing, and had a bit of a natter there. And now we're having a look at redoing the interiors today, because we'll need those on our new project version. I thought having a chill stream would be good because I'm like a zombie. Even sleeping most of the day yesterday, it hasn't really made me feel better. I always find with things like this, when you get tired, you need the full week to recover properly. Okay, so this is our new project file. Let's get RPG Maker open, because so you guys can actually see. Right, I'm going to just check everything's fine. That should be on auto run. It's the event that runs first after the custom hero creator. These should be on parallel. I always put them in the top corner of each zone area, each map, because it's a good way to keep track. And I'm also labelling everything now as well, trying to get super organised. So yeah, that's the blue, yeah, that's right. Okay, so I'm going to put the starting position back to where it should be, because we had it on that map just for testing purposes yesterday, so we could see the scenes quicker. Not yesterday, a day before. So everything's how it should be properly now. Right, so we've got a few, lots of bits and pieces to do. It's going to be way more enjoyable to piece everything together, this scene-wise, than it used to be, because I'm trying to be super organised with my advanced variables and switches now. The whole project was a big mess, but you have to like learn, don't you? Sometimes the first project is going to be a bit messy when you're new, and this time I'm getting organised. Did you get picture game done? Yeah, Van, I swear you retweeted. I think I saw. So yeah, it's there. It's got the picture game hashtag. We got in the top 70 of all the games that were pitched. Engagement wise, we got in the top 70 anyway, because somebody made a spreadsheet in like order of engagement. And like the likes and retweets added up. And we got in top 70, which is very good considering how many submissions there were. And for the size of our community as well. I mean, let's not forget, we had less than 120 followers on Raindrop RPG before yesterday. That is not a lot compared to, you know, it's not really that much. So I think we've done well with the size of us. Maybe I just didn't look at the hashtags. Yeah, it's the most important hashtag that's ever existed. Definitely the most important tweet I've ever done. There is only 2 I want, the crown and the cheese. Blair, the rest are not so cool. I'm glad that you think that too, Van, because I saw the emails and I was like, I'm not as excited for these Hyperscape ones as I was the Pride ones. That's what my thought was. Is there a crown and a cheese? Because I want them. They sound cool. They sound cool. I mean, you can't... Cheese, who doesn't like cheese? Let's face it. And a crown, yeah. I'll have a crown. I want those ones too. I didn't even know that those ones were a thing. Right, so yeah, I've organised those now. We'll have to make a new. I'm thinking we could make a new map for our interiors. But rather than have a different map for every single building, have one large map just like this one and spread them out over the large map based on the positioning of where the building is on this map. Because yeah, it's just so much easier not to have to shift through like loads of tiny little maps and have everything all together. So yeah, we have 4 buildings here on the Lakefall map. We have 1 building below on the map south of it, and we have 1 more here to the southeast. And in the inside, the interiors are bigger than the tile space that we've used here. I mean, what is this tile space? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 5 by 6, and these buildings here are different because they've got a bit sticking out. So obviously we make them bigger because it would be super squishy if we actually made the interiors as small as they are on the outside. But what I did before, like my approach to doing interiors, was to double it, I think. Or maybe it wasn't doubled, it was either ×2 or ×4 the size. I can't remember, I'll have to look. But the shape was the same. Like what you see, this bit sticking out would obviously reflect when you go inside. It was just like a bigger version, so it isn't too squishy. So in that regard, on the new map, we'd have to like account for that and like spread them out a bit. So it's not going to be a complete same as it is on the outside because the sizes will be bigger, but we'll try our best to spread them across the map so we don't get confused and we know which building means which one. Hello, I am new. Hi Wolf, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. It's good to meet you. And thank you, Azriel, for that command. I appreciate that. Really helpful that you do that for me. I actually already have the crown and cheese. I don't even know who gave it to me. I'm jealous. I want them. Because I'm looking through my emotes now and I don't have them. Maybe I'll get them. I just need to lurk in more streams. Hi Sorter, how you doing? Good morning or afternoon or evening to you. You're getting up that leaderboard. Believe in you. The Pride emotes were better. I don't have all the ones you do. That's real. They're way better. They're way better emotes. Alright, how about yourself? I'm doing very well. I think we have reason to be very happy today because I mean, really, guys, our tweet did well. Like, look at it. Look at our tweet. And for those that don't know what I'm talking about, get on following us on Twitter, guys, because you're missing out on all the cool stuff. You've missed out, guys, if you're not following us on the Twitter. The coolest tweet we've ever done in the history of our Raindrop Chronicles lifetime, which got posted yesterday. And yeah, that could, who knows? I mean, who knows if it's going to help us out, but I'm still pretty proud of the achievement. Remember, we've I think got 100 followers. We got that much. Hypoo indeed. Okay, guys, so we're going to have to open the old project though, to see what our old interiors look like, and I'm going to copy them. I'm going to like replicate how they looked, but potentially make them look prettier. There's that potential now that we've got tiled and more layers to work with, but we'll just do them as the look on the old map first, get that down first. And just a reminder about Trello, guys, because I obviously like to keep you in the know of the development and what we're working on and stuff, what's the current stuff we're doing. I've recently moved the dialogue and scenes for both Main Quest 1 and 2 back to the currently working on section. The one for Main Quest 1 was in the done section a couple of weeks ago, well, the other day. I know, but I recently moved it up to here, because we're redoing it all. Now that we've done the map overhaul, that means we have to tidy up all the scenes we've done and make sure everything's running very smoothly with them in our new map. And that involves redoing the tiles for the interiors, because we have an inn scene and a cabin scene in Main Quest 1, so those interiors need doing so we can actually put the scenes in place, the dialogues and that. I've already done the one by the lake with Fiona Buckington. That was featured in the trailer, the lake scene, but we've got to do the inn and the cabin one. Those ones need to be done again, and once we've done them we can work on finalising Main Quest 2 properly. But I am 100% doing all dialogue and scenes before we jump into the battle stuff again. We kind of like, in regards to the battle side of things, we've done bits need like tidying up and improving and implementing. Like, we never got around to implementing the summon because we had a few issues, but that is something on the cards. There's a few other bits and pieces like sounds and that need to be added too, and just generally tidying up in regards to any balancing. But with the battle mechanics, I see it as something that will constantly be improved anyway, and they're not going to be perfect when the first playable build gets released. It's going to be a bit rough around the edges, so expect that when it does get released. And I see it as anybody that does have access to the first playable build will kind of help me out with, in terms of what needs balancing better when that time comes, because that's something that's pretty impossible to do when you don't have that build. So first priority is getting scene and dialogue smooth. We want a super seamless experience on the map. We don't want it to be clunky, we want it to be super good. And once we're happy with that, I'm going to work on adding the quest icons and markers and stuff to the map. For those that have them enabled on the options menu, it'll be an on and off switch, because some people don't like icons and quality of life stuff on maps, but other people do. So some people will want to play it blind and hide mini maps, and I'm going to allow that option for anyone that does want them off, but they'll also be able to be turned on for those that like them too. So once all the scenes are done, that will be the next step, and battle mechanics will be last. And once we're happy with them, we'll be at a stage where we can release the first playable build, but it's going to take a few months. I've kind of said winter 2020 because we'll be having breaks in between doing this. We'll be having like brainstorm sessions as well on the new content that comes after, so that we're at least prepared for what's going to come next once we have released the playable build. We don't want to release the first playable build and be like, oh god, what now, and be completely blank. So it'll be nice to have some things in mind in regards to these things here when that's released, so we can implement that part. And let me catch up with chat, because I've gone off on a ramble again and I'm behind. So let's catch up. You have me and Azriel beat on Pride emotes. Yeah, I've got them all as well. I've got all of the Pride. I made sure I did, because I was lurking in about 10 streams so I could get them all. If I don't get them all, it means I'm falling ill. Yeah, I'm the same sort of. Hi Vagabond, how you doing? How did PYA go? Well, guys, I'm gonna link you to our Twitter, so considering Vagabond has asked, I'm gonna mention it again. Any excuse to mention it again is awesome in my book, so have a look. This is mine, but if you go on the Raindrop RPG Twitter, you'll see that it was a pretty success for us. For the size of our community, we don't have a large following. I'd say that's a success, what we got. And we got in the top 70 of all the pitches submitted yesterday, because a very kind, hardworking human actually made a spreadsheet and like listed everybody's pitch in terms of engagement. And we were like, yeah, pretty high up. We're pretty proud, and it's thanks to you guys. Thanks for supporting me and getting that spread. And thank you, Wolf, for that follow. I appreciate that as well. Appreciate it. So feel free to have a look, guys, because we also have a trailer with that submission as well. It's a brand new trailer that we hadn't released before. I did it in a few hours on Monday night. My last stream on Monday, I was like going completely insane because I didn't think we were going to do it in time. So I'm very happy I managed to get that thrown together. You must go to bed with Twitch on. Sometimes I do, actually. I saw someone on Twitter showing a lot of new MZ plugins. Oh really? Which person on Twitter was that, Van? Well, Van's going to be using MZ, aren't you? I think you said that was one you had your eye on for your game. So let us know, Van. You'll let us know when you start your game, won't you? Because I'm very intrigued. But I like to donate to people I follow. And Vigistella or someone else? Oh, I've heard of that one. I've heard of Vigistella. I want to know. I want to know the positives because I want to know Izzy as well. So sorry, guys. I will have to let this stream. Have to help doing homework. Have a great evening, friends. No worries. Also, let me just say, guys, never be sorry about lurking, because lurking to me is the lifeblood of a stream and a community. You need lurkers. Lurkers are everything. And it's not realistic to expect you guys to be chatting 24/7 in my stream every single day. So lurking is an incredible amount of support that you could give. That's the reason I give raindrops to lurkers, because it's I see it as a super cool thing and super helpful to the streamer. So I hope good luck with that homework, Kung. I hope it goes smoothly. And lurking is normally my job. You take over today. I'm looking for the person, just a sec. Format introduced 9 MZ plugins on Twitter. Oh, cool. I'll have a look at that one. And I mean, even though I'm not making the switch myself to MZ, I'm very keen on keeping my eye out, because I want to be in the know of what the new engine's like. I mean, it's kind of impossible for me to switch because there's too many plugins and things that I use that look like they will never be on MZ. For example, Tiled being one, and now we've just spent the last month getting that implemented for our game. The other one being the skill tree we use, which is an incredible plugin made by Falsky, I believe. I mean, who knows whether these plugin creators will transfer the plugin over to MZ, but sometimes, you know, they don't, so you can't always count on it, can you? I'll keep an eye out anyway, and have a see what's going on. Hi Drago, how are you doing? It's good to see you. That change tile one is interesting. I wonder how well it works. Yeah, I'm glad that it looks like it's an improvement from MV though. That's always nice to see. MZ plugins are coming out fast, it seems. My finger keeps hovering over the buy button from Z. Shame Humble doesn't have it. I would use your link, Rose. Yeah, that'd be awesome, actually. Yeah, I don't know what's on Humble Bundle at the moment. Actually, I haven't looked recently, but you never know. There could be something good on at the moment. Feel free to take a peek and use my link as well, because it'll help me out. Helps fund the development if anyone finds some at the like. As far as I understand, most of MZ code base is same as MV, so converting stuff is relatively easy. That's interesting. I would consider making the switch if every single plugin I use decided to move over. But it looks unlikely, because I've been keeping an eye out, and the creators of some of my favourite plugins that I do use, there's no like indication right now that there will be an MZ version. So I'm trying to not get attached because of that. But it's really nice for you guys to know that there's a lot of plugins coming out for those of you that want to use MZ, because yeah, it just shows that there's a lot coming out, and the more that come out, the more exciting and the more options for you all. Hi Coffee Quills, how you doing? Welcome back to the stream. How are you today? Good to see you again. How's your week been? You know, I'm kind of showing off our tweet today. I'm gonna be like having this on quite a lot in the stream, I think, just so people know about it, because not everybody who comes in our streams follows the Twitter or is on the Discord either, because I'm very aware that a lot of us here don't even have a Twitter or don't go on it very much. So I tend to always put any important news in Discord as well for those that don't have us on the Twitter. Just so you know, guys, any important news will always be put into this particular channel. So lots of folks came in today not knowing about the picture game, so here it is guys, here's our picture game. It's late, didn't get all I wanted done, but there's always tomorrow. Oh, I know those feels, Coffee, tell me about it. I'm like that every day of my life. I'm like, oh, if only I did this today or this. And I've changed my attitude lately, because I see it now as taking small steps every day is what counts, and not to put too much on ourselves. We should just be pleased with even a tiny amount of progress, even if it's like 1% of progress, because it's still something. Let me go retweet you then. Oh, thank you, Coffee, I appreciate it. Super appreciate the support. Yeah, I have MV, but since I've not started my game yet, I think I'll pick up MZ today before the sale goes off. Yeah, that's exciting, Van. It's today for the final day, isn't it? Oh, is it a sale for MZ today? I'm at phase of starting a new game once I launch Karen and Outrage Simulator this weekend. Picked up MZ to mess around with some new stuff. Oh, that's fun, Vagabond. Are you thinking of MZ then for your new one? Also hosting a game jam coming September 6th with a fun theme, no words. Hopefully something cool comes out of it. Yeah, let us know what that is, Vagabond. We're always excited to know what the awesome creative people who hang out here are up to. Can I heart your tweet, or is that for developers only? Oh, you heart it. Guys, make sure you give likes because they're super cool and I like them. So yeah, don't hold back from giving it a heart, Coffee. If you want to do that, I'm certainly not going to complain. I super appreciate any engagement at all, especially on an important tweet like this. I'm not one to beg my community for engagement, but like when it comes to, you know, really important tweets that are career changing and stuff like that, then I might be a bit more pushy than usual. But yeah, I don't know if it's too late now because it did close at midnight last night for us, but I still think it still will help, of course. Even doing the retweets now still gets word out, of course. 10% off, 20% if you have MV. Oh, that's awesome then, that they give you a bit more if you've got MV. That's cool. I like that they do that. Shows that they're considerate of their past consumers. I'm a little too used to following book pitches which hearts are only for agents or publishing agencies. Oh really? That's interesting. Oh, a game jam. Maybe I'll join that and try to make something small. Yeah, I think I'm really inspired by people that do game jams because I'm very slow with being a creator. I take my sweet time. So people that can like get games up and running really fast, I find that really inspiring. And I've always seen myself as a slow worker because I'm a perfectionist. It's kind of the two come together. But after Monday and how quick I did that trailer, I'm starting to see myself in a different light. I can be fast when I want to be, and I proved that. Otherwise I wouldn't have got this released on time. And I totally do try something like that out myself if it wasn't for having such a big commitment such as Raindrop Chronicles. I'd totally be in like wanting to do a game jam too. Just have to, you know, this is my priority and everything to me right now, but who knows what the future holds. The very far future when Raindrop Chronicles is complete. Hi Kyla, how you doing? It's good to see you. I hear GMS. What's GMS? I'm terrible with abbreviations. I never know what anything stands for. Let's catch up with chat. I'm actually probably going to muck about in Game Maker Studio for the first time and see how that goes. I do have another project in mind for MZ though. Oh, good choice, Vagabond. I've always said, and you might have heard me say this before, a few of you, if I was making a game that wasn't an RPG, I'd go for Game Maker personally for me, because it looks like it's very easy. They've made it easier to pick up. It seems like it's not too overwhelming with code, and they have another kind of approach, a more visual approach to making games as well now, and I think that's quite nifty. And it's a very flexible piece of software as well, as far as I've heard. But yeah, it is a little bit more advanced than RPG Maker, I think. But I think for a first time project, I think RPG Maker's a good one to go into, especially if you're not a coder yourself. For somebody like Van, for example, because Van has definitely said that they don't want to spend time learning code. So that is definitely something I relate to myself as well. Just scrolling through chat, making sure I've not missed anything. Hearting Rose's tweets is a requirement of having a Twitter account. Yeah. Well, just now, I know who retweets me because I'm really nosy. I'm a super nosy person, and I always have a little look through at who's been doing it. So I know who are my heroes. And you guys super I appreciate everybody who even comes and hangs out here, because every little bit counts. But you know, you got to appreciate the people that help spread the word, because you'd be nothing without that, let's face it. So GMS is fun. Messed with it on and off for a while though. Oh, that's what GMS is. Kyla says, what's GMS? I don't even know. Game Maker Studio. I get it now. That's what it is. I get what it is. We shipped one game in GMS, but I didn't do much work on it. Good for mechanics driven stuff, which I want to focus on this time. Oh, fantastic. What was the game we did in GMS then, Vagabond? You know, I was looking at GMS as an option for a visual novel. Oh, were you actually considering that one, Van? I was wondering what you thought of that one actually, because it's a little bit scarier than RPG Maker, but I think it would definitely be the next one after that I'd be okay going for. As a very inexperienced coder, or not a coder at all, should I say. If you don't have any previous Game Maker experience, something like Tyranno Builder may be better for a visual novel. Thanks for the recommendation, Kyla. Feel free to look at that, Van, if you'd like. Yeah, I downloaded a trial of Game Maker Studio a while ago and I liked it, so. Love how well it can port to other platforms. Yeah. We made a game called Dog Gone Golfing, which is a procedural arcade golfing game about dogs playing golf on the moon. Oh, that's the one with the cool, like, awesome looking dogs in your stream, because I've seen them. If that's the game that is, I'm assuming so. They're badass looking doggos. Has too many ideas already to write, tries to shoo away this plot bunny. Game Maker has drag and drop rows for getting started, but programming language is really to pick up. Yeah, it was the drag and drop editor that I was trying out actually, because I'm just much better at that. I'm one of these people that if I see symbols and numbers, my brain gets a bit confused. So I'm just a visual learner, that's how I am. So I'm always going to be have more of a preference to that one. And I'm glad they have that. It's a very cool Game Maker Studio have such a thing. Makes it less intimidating. Can look at it again to see if it has an update, because it doesn't seem very feature rich. Also have Visual Novel Maker, but the support for it isn't there many plugins like RPG Maker. Oh, you looked at that one? Yeah, one good thing about RPG Maker, I have to say, is the support. The fact that the forums are always very active. That is very nice to see. Recommend Sean Spalding and Friendly Cosmonaut on YouTube. Oh, cool. Thank you for the names, Asriel. Because the reason I downloaded Game Maker Studio, a trial of it, was because of a second project idea I had in mind at one point. And I had a little practice, but then I just stopped because I thought I'm not going to take away what I'm doing for Raindrop Chronicles. I want to make this my focus now. So I put it on away in a little place on a bookshelf, and I'm thinking I'll return to that one day. One day. We've got a lifetime to make games, everybody. Good time zone, everyone. Hi, Gresh. How you doing? It's good to see you. Happy Wednesday. How are things going for you? GMS for like action games. Yeah, Game Maker Studio seems like it'd be perfect for that genre. Might have to steal it. Yeah, I like that one too. It's a good one. It's a good greeting. I'm a fan. I assume it's similar to RPG Maker. If you want to make something apart from what it's built for, that may be difficult. Yeah, it's interesting to make a... I think RPG Maker could do a visual novel thing. I think the way I'd be intrigued to see a visual novel in RPG Maker anyway, that's for sure. I'd love to see someone attempt it. I'm curious how that would work out. I'm good, just woke up, go right ahead, I stole it first. Did you steal it from someone, Gretch? On that note, it's almost midnight for me, so I'm going to head to bed. Yeah, Coffee, thank you for hanging out with us again. Super appreciate that. Let's look at all these notifications. They're all waiting for us. Yay! Thank you for the love, guys. Appreciate it. Sorry, it's such a small time. Oh gosh, I'm of the opinion that you guys can just come in the stream and say hi and then bye, and that is awesome. Because even just for one moment, you've still took time out of your day to come and stop by. I did. I swiped it from a whole community. Yeah, I'm gonna steal it as well. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'd be mean stealing it now because it's Gretch's and Coffee's now. I might though because it is a good one. Hi DQ, how you doing? Welcome. Everybody's gonna use it. We're gonna make it a thing. Everybody's gonna end up using it, but it's too good not to. All this talk about engines, I gotta remind everyone, it doesn't matter what you make your game in, so long as you make it. Oh my goodness, I think that is so important for us to realise what Vagabond has just said, because there is too much snobbiness about engines from what I've seen on the internet, like people who, for example, even look down an RPG Maker. It has a bad rep for, and I think I just don't get it personally, because it's just a tool. Isn't it about the creator that really makes a project worthwhile, not the tool that was used? It you know, it's about the person behind it. That's what matters, in my opinion. So I completely think that is so important what Vagabond says. Do you speak Spanish? No, I'm awful at other languages, guys. The thing with us British, we're so arrogant that we only speak, a lot of us only speak English. It's really bad. But I think learning other languages is a fantastic thing, but I'm terrible at learning languages. I did try and learn both German and French at school, and I wasn't like the best, and I cannot, my accent always comes out as well, so I can't pull off the sexy French accent, that's for sure, very well, because my British accent just game tall, yeah, for sure, you are so right. And hi Neffel, how you doing? It's so good to see you. I hope you are doing fabulous. You lovely human. How is your Wednesday treating you, Neffel? Alright guys, so yeah, I'm just showing this tweet off because the world needs to know. And but we are going to do a little bit of stuff today. The plan is to like get some interiors done in tiled. We're going to just copy the old interiors from our old map, so we've got a tiled version of them, and it's going to be chill. I wanted to do something nice and chill today because this week's been a very busy one for me, and a big rush because of the pitch, and I'm the sort of person that doesn't like to do that. I like to not have deadlines, so that because I want my flame to stay bright. Don't want to get tired and burnt out. So I'm going to make sure I give myself a lot of self-care for the rest of this week and take it slowly. And this will be a nice, easy thing to do. So let's have a look at our old interiors. Hide. There we go. So this is our new project. We're going to close this and open our old one up so you can see what they looked like. Okay, so there were 5x6, and this is I wonder what made me decide that size. There must have been a reason. It's very hard to remember because I did these interiors, I think it was stream 2 of the whole project. So I was a big noob back in those days. I'm trying to remember why I chose this size, because I thought I would have doubled it, but it isn't. It's a bit of an odd number. So if it's 5x6, it should be 10x12. That would be the proper true size of what it would be if we just doubled it. But yeah, we gotta realise the roof is there though, so yeah, I'm intrigued about you guys, how you approach interiors in your game, like if you have a method, for those of you that have done. Because obviously you're not going to have it be the exact same size of the buildings, be far too small. And I wondered whether, because I'm one that wants to realistically make the interior look the same shape as it does on the outside. Because of course that is just much better. So I'm thinking, yeah, because I might change the size we have here. I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to think of why I made it the size I did, because I can't even remember why I chose 13x11 when it's not really. Still, it's still a square. And the others, the tavern. Hi Rose, how did yesterday go? It went well, Hinnell. Now it's an excuse to show it again. Here it is. I'll give you the link to the Twitter handle. Whenever someone mentions it in chat today, I'm gonna get it up again so you can all see. So there you go. Have a look. We did decently for the amount of followers that we've got on the Twitter, so I'm very happy. Oh yes, trailer time. Yeah, if anybody hasn't seen it yet, we've got a brand new trailer here as well that hasn't been seen anywhere before this tweet. It was a trailer I put together in a few short hours after the last stream, and especially for this pitch. And well, to be honest, I was thinking of making a trailer anyway, because we were due for having a proper trailer of the game. So I'm glad we've got it. But yes, if you haven't seen it, definitely take a look. Give it some love. Give it a like or retweet if you do have a Twitter account, and you want to help support the success of the project. That'd be super appreciated. Is this all drag and drop? I don't know. What would you guys say RPG Maker is? I mean, it's all really done in let's get it up. So a lot of what I do is in the event editor. I haven't used many of the game engines, so I don't have anything to compare it to. So I think chat and some of the more experienced folks might better be able to better give you a idea of the difference with RPG Maker and other engines. Was uncool there, but completely agree with Vagabond. There is no best engine, whatever works for you and your project. 100%. Any engine snobbery, I don't know if that's the term, but if there's ever any engine snobbery, those people aren't welcome in this community, because We have good attitudes here. The people who come hang out here, we have positive, encouraging and supportive attitudes to creatives and game makers. That is what we want in our life. There's enough negativity in the world, so we only want to have good things in our time. Life's too short for nonsense. And ultimately, that's why we have a really nice community here of awesome people, because I foster that. Any like complete jerk face that comes in the streams immediately gets the ban hammer on them, because you get one bad apple in, then you're risking it. You're risking your community, and that is not something I'm going to even risk at all, because I'm very happy of what we have here and the awesome people we have here, and that's not going to get ruined by a bad apple. I saw an alert come up then, by the way, but I completely didn't say what it was. I want to know, what was the alert? I'm so sorry, I missed that one. Man, watching this is making me want to work on my game more. Oh my goodness, you should, Sorter. You should work on it. One of my goals as a streamer is obviously to get Raindrop Chronicles out there and us and people knowing about it, getting more eyes on the project. But another goal of me being a streamer is to help inspire people and motivate them on their own creative projects. And I think I can do that best by being a positive person with a positive community. Nothing drains my motivation more than criticism and like bad vibes and energy, and I find the opposite, good vibes, is what makes me more motivated. Good vibes and encouragement. Honestly, it doesn't matter what you use. I've seen some decent stuff made with RPG Maker. You should use what you're comfortable with. Game Maker is just different. Oh, exactly. It depends on the game you're making. And you know, the fact that my vision was to make a nostalgic, old school RPG of the same style RPG Maker has only makes sense for me to use RPG Maker. It just wouldn't have made sense for me to use anything else. And I'm frigging happy with it. I love it. I think RPG Maker is incredible. I grew up on the thing, and it's got a lot of nostalgic memories for me. It's a very, very nostalgic little program. I missed it too. Yeah, I saw it in the corner of my eye because I have OBS slabs on my other monitor, and then I completely missed what it says, and I'm very curious. I'm super curious what that alert was. Usually, if it's a follow alert, it will come up on the bot, and then I know. So it might have been a host, because sometimes when it's hosts, it doesn't actually say. So whoever it was that hosted, thank you. I appreciate it. I've been putting off too much. I gotta stop that. Yeah, I think. I'm definitely somebody that says take care of yourself. I encourage that. Like, don't think of yourself as a machine that's gotta do something. But at the same time, you know, if you've got a goal, if you've got something in mind, don't hold back either, because the world deserves to see it. So I think it's about that it's getting that balance, isn't it? Like doing your passion and making something of yourself and your dreams, but at the same time being sensible and wise about it. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to make a brand new map in Tiled. I'm going to make it the exact same size as the one that we have here, because I want to kind of position the interiors where they are on the large map, so that we don't get confused and we know which building is where, rather than do lots of little small ones. So everybody might have their own approach to this. I'm very intrigued at how other people approach interiors though. This is the way I'm going to do it. I did watch a YouTube video ages ago, like when we first started Raindrop Chronicles, and somebody else, I think, did it the way I'm going to do it now. So I might watch that YouTube video again to refresh myself at some point. So what we do today on stream, it might not be that it's like a work in progress. I might like change the positioning of the buildings or the sizes potentially, if something will work out better. We'll make a start. Okay, so just getting this new map size planned. Save as. This will be map 3. I can't see anything. It's just greyness. Okay, so might have to put the template there that we've got, because we've got a template. Let's open Photoshop. Got a bit of setup work to do first, just so we can get the positioning right, because I want to keep things super organised. Now I'm started a new tidier project file, and it can take a bit of extra time to like get everything organised, but I prefer doing things properly now to rushing and just doing it fast without thinking and then regretting it later. Okay. Okay, so this is our template of what we're gonna be doing. So it's a full-sized RPG Maker sized map, this is, and the little rectangles you see are like how I approach the map design, so that I don't, because it's a lot less overwhelming than to think of it in small parts as a map. Because originally when we were doing the Everbloom Forest, we did do it like that. They were small little rectangular maps, and I pieced them all together. So that's how the Everbloom Forest looks like so far. We've got potential to fill in all these other little squares if we'd like to, if there's room for more content, which obviously there will be, because we can have side quests and more quests. Okay, so I'm gonna open Tard again. Also guys, I see that you're being awesome and you've been giving me notifications on the Twitter again. Have a look, have a peep. Gretch, thank you for the follow. I'm showing everybody's faces to the world. Thanks for the love. Can we get to 70 likes on this, I wonder, by the end of stream? We're getting close. Maybe 40 retweets and 70 likes would be a cool goal for that. Okay. Got so many tabs open, I'm getting confuzzled. Okay, so I'm still new to tiled, and this is officially only the second map I've ever done in tiled. So, trying to remember how I insert images now. Here, image layer. And I think the way it's done here, yeah, there's a browse image section here. Also, guys, I'm going to put trivia in chat soon. Trivia will know who the Lore Master of the Month is on the 31st of August, which is a Monday stream. So it'll always be the last day of every month of a stream that we have, of course. And the last day of August happens to fall on a day we do stream. So that'll be when we know who our Lore Master of the Month is. So I'm going to do probably another couple of trivia questions today, so that'll give you guys a chance to get up the leaderboard. And then it'll go back to 0 when September comes. Everybody will be 0, and then we'll get a new Lore Master in October. And the goal, my plan is to make a list, an archive list of each month, and we'll get to see the different Lore Masters we've got. The most geeky, nerdy Raindrop Chronicles fans that we have in our community. Van is a Raindrop Chronicles geek, that's for sure. Raindrop Chronicles geek and proud. I love to see it. There's nothing more flattering than somebody being a geek for your game, I have to say. Okay, so yep, that I'm gonna have there so we know where everything is. I'm gonna just make sure it's in line. I think it is in line. I actually did delete the image layer of this one, so I'm going to put it back just temporarily. Because without that we would not even known where to start with really doing the map. Having that there just helped us position everything properly. They look like so similar, like when I do that, like the only difference is the tree is slightly more right on the new one. So I've done a pretty good job of making it look the same, but of course some of the assets are just far nicer looking, and the colours just look better now as well. What did I miss? I was doing some work. We were chatting about the trivia and how you're gonna clearly be the Lore Master of the Month now, but it's not over yet. We still got today's stream, Friday stream, and Monday stream. Some trivia's then. And hi Classic, thank you so much for that follow. I appreciate it. Welcome to the stream. I'm a hungry one. I might get a snack soon, but not yet. I've just had lunch. Oh, we had another like, I think, on our tweet. We still need 3 more to get to 70 likes, though. So here's our Twitter, guys, because we had a really important tweet posted yesterday. Oh, we got 68 likes now. We had a really important tweet posted yesterday on our Raindrop RPG account, actually, but my personal account did retweet it, so it's on there as well. It's the most, if I get it up just so you guys can see, it's probably the most important tweet we've ever done. So I'm kind of like being like, yeah, give us some love, guys. even make a comment if you're not one for the retweets or likes. Comments go a long way as well. And we're very close to 70 likes now and 40 retweets, so there's also a snazzy trailer to watch as well if anybody is curious about the game, because we haven't really released anything that really shows off the game properly until this trailer. I mean, there is the trailer on my Rose Rainblood account, this one, which I really like this trailer. I was really happy with this one. It took me 5 days to do, but that's more about me and the project than the actual game. This one here is more about the game. Always nice to find other UK game devs. Yeah, always lovely as well. I'm in agreement there. So I take it you are a fellow dev yourself. Feel free to tell us about what you're working on, Classic. I encourage creative chats in this stream. I had to reset my Twitter password because I'd forgotten it, but I got a like up there. Appreciate the love. I liked and retweeted. Yeah, Van, I know you did. You are on the ball. You guys are the best. Hey, why is it on 64? It was 68 just. That's weird. Twitter's been really weird and bulky lately, I've noticed. But I'm working on a few different games, but my clients keep me busy with web work. Oh, really? Yeah, well, that's cool. I made a website myself. I'm no web developer though, believe me. But I'm pretty happy with the one that I put up together for Raindrop Chronicles. But yeah, it's always good to meet fellow gamers, so thanks for coming and stopping by and hanging out with us today. Classic. Narosh, you're the best. Hi Zexy, how you doing? It's so good to see you. Thank you so much for that really kind comment that you made the other day, Zexy. Zexy really made my day the other day, everybody. Where's it hiding? There it is. Said for something really nice, because I was stressed on Monday because we had made no progress on the trailer. I was like, are we even going to do this? And I was like, oh my goodness, started to get a bit overwhelmed. And Zexy went in there, said something really nice and really helped. And it was that Zexy that made me get super motivated with the trailer. I managed to do a really good one in the end. So thank you. I've got a virtual... Oh gosh, I'm very sorry about that. Yeah, I just knocked my desk. I apologise, chat. I've got a virtual pet game, a LOLs-like chord game, and a 2D platformer. That sounds interesting. The virtual pet game in particular is one that I've been intrigued by just because I love the animals. I love any cute, adorable things. And we have a creative work channel in our Discord, Classic, where I kind of tell you guys in our community, feel free to post links to your stuff in the creative work channel. So if that is something you'd like to do, if you want to, tell our community about your stuff, then that channel is there for you. I looked at your site, it looks really good. I'm very impressed, and it's kind of the style I want for my own showcase pages. Oh, that's great. I mean, it's always awesome to know that my website's an inspiration to others. That was kind of the goal. I wanted to create a one-page website that was like very dynamic and like a way to really be in people's faces. That was definitely the goal. Of course, I meant it. You're awesome, and your words are the best way to show people that. Well, it means the world. I'm a words of, what's that love language? Words of affirmation. Is it? That's mine. So, but it has to be sincere. You can't be just any asshole saying nice words. You have to be sincere. Hey, fam. Yeah, words of... Yeah, I thought it was that one. Mine kind of like falls between the words one and the quality time one. It's kind of a mix of the two. I think. But I feel like in a way I'm all 5. I'm like very, very, I'm a very high maintenance person. Because sometimes I think the other 3 I have as well. I think maybe we all have all 5. But those 2 in particular are mine. Okay, got another one. Oh my goodness. Hey, we already had Xaver. This is why Twish is balked. But I appreciate it, Xaver. You are fabulous. Redo mine since it's probably changed. Sometimes they do change. Sometimes we're different people to what we were before. Oh my goodness, shut up. I'm saying that to my neighbour, by the way. I'm not joking, guys. I'm gonna just have a little quick rant now. My neighbour, you probably can hear every single word I'm saying right now, by the way, because we live in a house with extremely thin walls. I have this feeling that he's really pissed off about, you know, how loud I am during streams, and he does it on purpose. But he cut every single day. He's either drilling, sawing, hammering, or scraping the wall right next to me. And I'm about to, like, lose it. I'm about to lose it. Like, I feel like going around that house and punching him. And I'm not a violent person, so you know that it's got bad when I want to do that. And he's doing it right now, and I don't think you guys probably can't hear, hopefully, but I can, and it's very bothersome. Mine is service, I think. Yeah, I think I can get, that is probably one of mine as well. Gretchalka says, I think I have all 5. My goodness. It was once quality time and words, so people just sit around me and tell me how awesome I am, and I'm very introverted. Sounds like me, to be on it, classic. I'm introverted, and those are like my 2 main ones. Sounds like he is. Honestly, I've got no time for him, and he used to beat his wife, to be quite blunt. So in all honesty, I don't mind slagging him off. Although if it wasn't for that, I'd feel a bit guilty. But he's a horrible person anyway. And he is, honestly, I'm actually really mad right now because my parents actually wrote a letter to him and posted it this morning saying, can you please stop making noise every single day. They did a really polite one, and he's doing it despite that. This just proves that he's doing it on purpose, and you can probably hear me saying this right now. Probably like hates my guts, or whatever. Who is it? Just some random man, in all honesty, that lives next door, that he's really not a nice person, and he's causing noise disruption every single day. And it's got that bad that me and my family are thinking of moving. We're like talking about moving because of it, because it's really doing our heads in. I just want someone to do my dishes for me. I do your dishes, Gretch Star. Oh, and just so you know how to pronounce the last part, it's like, oh yeah, that's why I didn't call you your second name, Classic, because I've never been able to pronounce that name, and I don't want to embarrass myself. It's not Neil, is it? Is it Neil, or is it pronounced differently, or is it Nile, like the river? Okay, Nile, yay. Guys, is it possible to talk to him about it? Have you asked him if you're too loud? Maybe it's just miscommunication. Never mind. Arson is not correct. I wish that it was that easy, Zach. See if he was. I feel like I have to whisper because he can probably hear me. But I wish it was that easy. If he was a reasonable person, I think it would be. But he's a little bit unhinged. Like he's not Like, I sometimes worry he's going to come round the house and, like, get violent with us if we get angry at him about it. So it's just very not nice. It's not pleasant to be living in this environment. So we are thinking of moving. But there's no sign of when that will be, because it might take time to sell the house. Thank you for the follow, Eld. I appreciate. We have an Eld that comes hang out in this stream actually, so we've got another Eld now. Welcome. Can hear him now. He's hammering. Yeah, you guys can hear it. I hope it's not too annoying. I mean, it is very annoying for me to hear, and it's probably a lot louder for me. And I hope it's just a distant little noise for you guys and not too disruptive. And I feel like strangling someone right now. It is sending me completely doo-dally, I'll tell you that. Because it's all the time. I remember saying, guys, I apologise about the construction noise. I feel like it's a daily thing I apologise for every time I stream now. And it's just stupid. Everywhere I've lived, I've had noisy neighbours. Can't stand these people. I don't even get it. Why do you need to do it every day? Like, eventually it ends, right? Eventually you've done what you need to do. But he's been doing it every day since lockdown, basically. But he still did it a lot of days before then as well. Feels like this has been going on for years. I had a neighbour like that when I lived in an apartment. He used to shout and throw things, so I was afraid to confront him too. Yeah, it sucks. Like, if they're a nice person, it's not as bad because you can make a compromise. But when you know they're completely psycho, it just makes it so much worse. Moving would be a nice option, maybe a better home bit. That's the plan, because the house we live in right now is very small, with very thin walls. And I don't have much space either in my room for my stuff, my desk. So I'm certainly not going to complain at moving to another place that's a bit larger and a little bit with some thicker walls and more privacy. And hopefully no neighbours. I'd like to live in a house that isn't attached to another house, ideally. Rose, I'm not far away, as you know, so if you need a biker turning up at his door, just say the word. Oh my god, Azriel, are you like, would you be someone he'd be scared of? Because honestly, I'm tempted right now to hire somebody to give him a good punch in the face. Sorry, you aren't feeling safe in your home. I know it's not much, but I'm sending you oogles of internet hugs and support. Thank you, Zex. It's hard. I don't like to talk about it too much on stream because, you know, I like to keep the good vibes here. And honestly, I like to pretend it's not happening as well. I like to distract myself and pretend it's not happening. But sometimes it just gets... It's there. Sometimes the noise gets very loud and you can't ignore it. I've been hearing it a while. I thought it was a Twitch issue until you explained it. Yeah, guys, now you know what it is. It's my psychopath neighbour. Yeah, it's small, and I would have known that was until you said it. No problem. Yeah, and it's frustrating when it's out of your control. Like, I want my streams to not have noise in the background. That would be nice, because I don't want to hear that and my community don't want to hear that. We want a nice chill stream here. And he's a complete and utter tosser, because the fact that my family sent him a letter this morning, they really explained things really nicely. They said, look, our daughter does streaming on these days between these hours, and she records videos and it's her job, so can you consider doing it in the hours that aren't that? And he's like, it sounds like he's actually doing it on purpose right now. So it's like, hate him. Don't forget about the Shelter on Discord. We're here for you whenever you need emotional, moral support. Yeah, the Shelter channel is in my Discord, and that is for me as well. Like, it's not just for you guys. I can use it too, and I have done in the past as well. So, yeah, thanks for reminding me, Zach. So, consider your family, Rose, and you have mentioned your concerns about him before. So, whatever you need, yeah. It gets frustrating. So if I'm ever like seeming off and not my happy self, it's probably that. In all honesty, it's probably that. Hi Rose, has this neighbour lived there for many years? His ex-wife and daughter used to live there when I was a kid, but they moved out, and then he bought the house off them. Which I never understood, considering he used to beat her. Like, why would you sell your house to him? But, yeah, he was like, there was a period where he was always not living at home, where he like completely just disappeared for like years. But then he came back, and he kind of just constantly does construction work randomly out of the blue, and you can guarantee he's going to do it at least once in a day for about 20 minutes and then stop. You never know when he's going to do it. That's it. It's just random, and that makes it worse. Fingers crossed that he's just fixing up the place to sell again. That's the thing, that's what my dad said. He says he's probably just doing it up so he can like sell it to someone, and I think that's what we're hoping, and we're thinking, yeah, it'll all be over soon. But then part of us just thinks maybe he's just really got a problem. He has to like do that just randomly for no apparent reason, which is a bit worrying if that's the case. I mean, But well, I'm going to try and ignore it, but when it's really loud and it's in the room right next to you, it can be really hard to focus and concentrate. Because, I mean, you guys could hear it, couldn't you? Okay. But I'm honestly worried because once my dad went round the house and like was getting really mad at him, and I swear he was going to punch him, and I was really scared for my dad because he was getting really violent. I thought he was going to get stabbed by him or something. I'm not even joking. I never hear it myself, not the basketball person, not the carpenter man. Yeah, the basketball boy, because there's another one. It's so weird. There's a basketball boy as well, but he's the other side, and I only hear him when I go to the bathroom. Luckily, it's not something I have to hear during the stream. Makes me laugh how you said the basketball man, but he's a boy. He's like I think he's about 6 or 7 or something. He might be a bit older. And all he's done since lockdown is bounce this ball, like constantly every second of the day since lockdown. Yeah, it's just, isn't he bored? Like, I'd be bored if all I was doing was bouncing a ball like that all day. Give the poor boy a PlayStation. Shut up. Yeah, it's quite loud right now. Actually can't hear it, but I'm using my phone. Everything sounds better when you only have a mono audio speaker. Yeah, I'm going to listen to this VOD after stream and see how bad it actually is on stream, because I do put music on in the background for the stream, which I hope sort of masks it in a way. But yeah, it's probably, I'm assuming it's not as bad for you guys as it is for me. But yes, I mean, that could put people off from wanting to hang out in the stream, you know. It's affecting me, so he needs to stop. There used to be a guy on my block who had a problem like that. He used to always have to go out on his balcony at noon and just shouting at the sky. People are strange. This is why I'm an introvert, because I honestly don't have time for idiots. I have a very short fuse with annoying people. I have a very big heart, and I'm very affectionate with people who I love and appreciate. But when it comes to idiots, I just have a very little patience. And the music does cover most of it. Awesome. It's noticeable, but I use a headset. Yeah. So, I'm just hoping there'll be a solution for this soon. I'm not going to make it a habit to discuss this on stream, because it would start to get to me and take over and consume my life if I make it the subject of conversation regularly. So I'm going to try and ignore it as best as I can. And even if like I'm streaming and it gets loud, I'm going to just ignore it. And if anybody, unless anybody in chat says what's that, if someone in chat says what's that, then I'll explain. But if not, I'm going to just pretend it's not happening, and hopefully he'll either move and stop, or will move, and then it'll all be over. Do you have bookshelves? Bookshelves crammed with books and tapestries with egg cartons or dry food drink holders behind them will dampen the sound. Yeah, I don't actually, because I try to keep my room minimal, especially because I don't have much space. I did think of soundproofing my room somehow, but oh no, if we're going to move, I don't know if there's going to be a point, and I don't know how expensive that procedure is either. I'm a bit of a noob when it comes to things like that. Are you playing FF music in the background? Oh, this particular piece of music is Chrono Trigger actually, but we do have FF music, a lot of FF music on our playlist. We have the song title up there in case anyone's curious of what's on. You can find soundproofing on Amazon fairly cheaply. Oh, interesting. Hanging up a blanket will help, or even a pretty sheet. It's a Square Enix piece, so I was close. Yeah, you were close. It's an RPG. An awesome JRPG. You were close indeed. But yeah, guys, we'll just hope for the best. That's all we can do. Nothing in life ever goes smoothly or perfectly for any of us. That's something. Okay. So where were we? I've got a great solution for noisy neighbours. 5.1 surround sound and turn up the drum and bass. Yeah. We've thought about that, and in all honesty, we're not innocent. My family, we're all very loud. We get very loud in conversation. Even me streaming next to him right now, he might hear me. He might hear every single word I'm saying, for all I know. And I'd absolutely hate that if he could, because I want my privacy. But I'm not going to be quiet while I'm streaming. I want to be able to be loud and get excited and talk to you guys. So, you know, he might get really mad at that, and I know that the others that live in my house with me get pretty loud in conversation too. We're pretty vocal. We get excited. Thin walls, yeah, it's one of those really unfortunate things. And actually, I mean, the environment I live in stopped me from streaming for a long time. I wasn't sure whether where I live would be appropriate for streaming, and it held me back. I always was like, oh, I'll start streaming when I live on my own. But then I just thought, nah, I'm going to do it. And I did it. I would just do my thing if I were you. Yeah. I might wear earplugs forever. I mean, I can always put my earphones on during stream and listen to the music that we have on in stream as well. I tend to take my earphones out recently because my ears sometimes get sore when they're in for too long, but that might be a solution, just so it's not as disruptive for me and so I can focus a bit more. And just turn it up super loud as well. Okay, so I've got our template here. Right, so it's this white one here in the middle that where we're going to do the buildings. So we'll make another tile layer. We'll call it ground. So we're going to have to bring in some tile sets now so we can make the ground. So I'm going to get Photoshop up and we're going to find the tiles we need. So if we have a little look at what we've got in RPG Maker. I used to do that to drown out sound. The foam soundproofing will be more useful to you bros. Yeah, I'm just wondering if I've even got the space for that, because like I said, my room's very squishy. Even the walls, there's not much space because I've got my green screen here and my other wall is like got stuff in the way as well. So it's just it's not a very big room at all. Everything's very squish. Earmuffs could be a solution. I used to work at a factory where ear protection was mandatory, and muffs earplugs can cancel out so much stuff. Yeah, and if anything expensive is a no starter for me, because I'm like the poorest person ever. So but yeah, I mean I'm gonna start wearing earphones on stream. I might do that. And I'd be for the soundproof solution if I had more space on my walls. And I felt it was going to be... I've got like wardrobes and mirrors and all sorts in the way. My green screen, literally, is right there. So I'm so squished. Like... stick some winter coats on the end of broomsticks when you stream. Yeah, it's if you saw my room, guys, you know what I mean. And like, everything could easily fall apart. Like my lighting could fall over, and all my monitors if I'm not careful with how I organise my room. And it's because I've got a desk in a bedroom. That's what doesn't help, because we live in a tiny house. Man, I'm really pumped right now. Normally I lurk till you leave, but I'm going to go work on a game right now. Catch you tomorrow. Oh, good luck with your game, sorted. That sounds really fun. Hope it goes well. Tell us how it goes. And have an awesome day. Thanks for the chats. Okay, so we're after that floor, and yeah, all of them have the same floor. I'm obviously going to do a bit of recolouring though for the walls in the background, because those are our old ones. So I'm going to just open Photoshop and make a tile set with all the assets we need, so we can put them in on our new map in tiled. Pardon me. Okie doke. I'm just going to open up. I said I was going to do trivia, didn't I? And it never happened because I got distracted by the noise. So we'll do it in a few minutes instead. Okay, so I'm trying to find the tile sets that we need. It's an interior one, I think. Okay, so I'm going to open 5 of them. I think there's a mixture. The stuff we need isn't on a mixture of all of them. We'll see. And I think that's the floor we need. Yeah, that's definitely the floor. So let's get the tile up. Join the Game Jams people are hosting. That might be a good chance to make mini games for Raindrop Chronicles. Yeah, I mean, it's a tough one when it comes to making new things, because then it can take away time from the project. I think if I was going to do it, it would probably be more sensible to do something Raindrop Chronicles related, like of that sort of nature, rather than a completely separate thing. Yeah, I mean, mini games haven't been on the cards for us because we haven't even discussed that being a feature, have we? And I'm one of these people, don't know about you guys, but I can't stand RPG mini games. All those ones, do you remember the ones in Final Fantasy X? The lightning one, and the butterfly one, and the chocobo racing one in particular. I've never been so salty in my life from a set of mini games. So yeah, I mean, I've never understood why games have to have annoying things in them, because I'm not one for frustrating the player. I'm not against mini games if they're actually cleverly put together, but I'm awful at anything puzzle-y. It's not my strong point. In fact, puzzle games are probably my least favourite game genre, apart from Portal. That was actually a good puzzle game. Oh yeah, Blitzball was another one. You don't like those mini games? Oh, have we got someone in stream that actually got pleasure from those? That's a first. Mini game, we're still on the game. You usually like the puzzles? Yeah, I think I'm one on my own. I mean, to be honest, puzzle games, a lot of people like them. I think I'm in the minority for not liking puzzle games. I think Portal is probably one of the only ones that I like. No, I didn't like them, I was gonna say. My design philosophy is don't make mini games mandatory, yeah. Because I just know how I felt playing games I adore that have them and how salty I got, and like, oh god. And yeah, a lot of those ones were optional anyway in Final Fantasy X, and let me just say Final Fantasy X is one of my favourite Final Fantasies, so it didn't ruin the game for me. But yeah, they enjoyed putting them in to make us get mad, that's for sure. And I had to do it because I wanted 100% achievements on it, so I drove myself crazy trying to get them. Yeah, and that included Blitzball as well. Instead of the player, you play the boss. So yeah, I'm going to admit, just because puzzle games aren't my genre, and you know me, guys, how I don't want to get burnt out from this project, I kind of do have to, choose what I enjoy most and focus on that, because there's always a risk of me getting tired and being like, oh no, not this, if I start implementing stuff that I'm not passionate about into the game. So as the creator, I have to make sure that I'm getting excited by everything I do and everything I add. And that doesn't mean we won't have mini games in Raindrop Chronicles. It's not a no. Who knows? Maybe there'll be the opportunity to have one, but it would have to work, of course, and be amazing for me to even consider it. I'm not going to just throw it in for the sake of going through it because it's a trend for games to have mini games in them. I wouldn't do it just for that. You should have backed away slowly and went to other parts of the game. Instead of the player, you play the boss. There's so many cliffs. That's an interesting concept though, National, for a game. There's so many cliffs in the starting area. I was thinking sky fishing, like bird fishing, live capture and release of the birds. True, there are cliffs. I mean, I am totally up for hearing ideas. You never know what will be implemented I've said, as I said earlier in the stream, oh my god, it took me a while to get those words out then. One of the things I said was how I want to try and push episode 1 to have things about it that make it an exciting, memorable and standout experience. Because I really want this game to be special and have success. So, of course, if there's something that is yeah, that's going to make this game, it's going to just make episode 1 way better having that, then yes. Chances are, if the concept of it gets me excited, I'm going to want to implement it, because anything that gets me excited to do gives me energy and gives me life and gives me more motivation. I found alone just doing the map improvements the last few weeks has already just made my motivation even higher, because it's just way better to play test now and walk through those maps compared to the old ones we had. And yeah, it took effort to redo them, but it was worthwhile because it's a better game experience now. And nice to see a great MV stream. Keeps me motivated to continue in mine. Hi Coda, how you doing? And thank you for the kind words. I appreciate that. And I'm glad to hear that it's motivating you. That's awesome. Hope your project goes super well. I'm not sure how I feel about minigames. Like Chocobo Hot and Cold, I like that. Also liked having minigames as game mechanics. Side quests are also fun. Side quests are everything to me, but not filler ones, if that makes sense. Now, I don't mind any things that are like hunts, for example. They're totally cool as an extra thing. But side quests that we'll have in Raindrop Chronicles will be mind-blowing. That's kind of the goal. I'm going to become very strict. We're not going to have time wasters and fillers that are just go over there and find that object and bring it back. Screw those. We're gonna have memorable story experiences for our side quests that like fit with the lore and capture us and make us want to play more, like make us really intrigued and entertain us and give us the feels and those kind of side quests. And that's why I says, anything like hunts, kill X amount of monsters, like those sort of side quests are fine if they're in their own little category, I guess. But to actually have those as a side quest, an actual proper side quest, just seems like filler to me. And I know some games do it, a lot of games have all these filler side quests, but I don't see the point. It's a waste of time. Waste of development time. People are going to just turn off your game. You're going to make people want to keep playing your game, not turn it off. That's kind of what you've got to do. Like Chocobo Hot and Cold, I'm trying to remember what that one was now. But yeah, mini games, I mean, I might seem skeptical, and I kind of am, but I'm not completely against them. If there was an opportunity and it was very fitting and it was fun, like an actual fun experience, then yes. But not inserting them in for the sake of it or just to wind people up. Not that. And a lot of RPG minigames do have that kind of where they seem like they are in just for that. It's true, it was purely so you wanted to join game jams and wanted to keep it RC. I think it's a pretty cool idea, I do think, because it gets more eyes on you, you never know who could come across it, and then they'll find out about the actual big game from the game jam. I think it's an interesting idea. I think if we was going to do it, it would be later on in the development when we actually do have something of that nature to do or work on. So if we was going to do it anyway, then yeah. But not so we putting ourselves out just to do that and distract us from the game. Get rid of the padding. Yeah, padding sucks. Ew, no padding. When you say hunt, do you mean find a specific rare monster, or do you mean just go kill 5 animal? It could be either, Zexy. I mean, we haven't really chatted about that yet, or anything of that nature of what hunts would be. But I figured it would be a way to like get extra sort of let me just get the map up actually, so we've got some context to what we was talking about. It was meant, this was talked about streams ago, like very early streams, and we made a building for it, this building here, and it's got a raindrop sign on it, and the kind of idea was it would be a sort of bank, this building, that would be in each region of the world. And there'd be people working in there that would like give adventurers quests like hunt these monsters for us and we'll give you X amount of raindrops for your hard work. It's like sort of being a responsible citizen kind of thing. And that would be like a hunt sort of quest system the game would have, I guess, and a way to get more money, because raindrops are the currency, as we know. And that was the point of that, because I think inserting raindrop lore as early as possible is important as well, and making that stand out as a concept in the game, because it isn't actually part of the story yet. It's all about Carol the Barrel at the moment and the fruits in the story. Raindrops haven't even entered anything story-wise yet, and although they are key to the plot of what's really happening here in the game, it might not be mentioned for a while yet. So I still think it would be nice to introduce the raindrops early, and that was a way of doing it. But there could be many cool things we could do with that this idea of this raindrop bank building, but that was just one that we had many streams ago. And we haven't even started this yet, by the way. We haven't even done the inside or anything. The building's just been there the whole time with having no purpose at this point. What is a waste? Came in again from getting a drink. Oh, filler side quests are a waste. In regards to, like, you know, your main side quests in the game, not hunts. I see hunts as an extra thing, not side quests, but when they're filler, they're just pointless and not inspiring. There's a lot of RPGs still do that. I mean, I can't think of any off the top of my head, but there's very few RPGs that actually have good side quests in them. One is The Witcher 3. That to me was life-changing in regards to memorable quests, and I'm very inspired by that approach, actually making quality quests and trying really hard to make some side quests just as important and as memorable as the main quests. Fan, thank you so much for that follow. Welcome to the stream. 9 digging up treasures, maps for better equipment, etc. X did them really bad. 9 had that jump rope one, which was absolutely horrendous. That's like that mini game. It's a mini game, I guess. That rope one was. I mean, who in their right mind would be able to jump 1,000 times with a rope? I never bothered doing that because the idea of doing that mini game made me want to scream. The jump rope was painful, just ridiculous. Woman game dev is cool. Thank you, fan. Welcome to the stream. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Was that building in the alpha map? It was national. It was right here. Except it didn't have the raindrop sign on it here because that was on an event on the actual map. I don't think... Oh, actually it was on them. I don't know why it was missing on this one then. And yeah, it was a very old, like very early idea, this raindrop building was, and it was simply as a way to get raindrops introduced into the game to the player very, very early on. As like to show that the raindrops are the currency of the world, and it was a way to integrate it without it seeming forced. And I'm very interested in ideas from this too, because the idea of it being a bank where you could do jobs for raindrops was just one solution, one that's very workable. But who knows where we could take that sort of idea. Coda, thank you so much for the 30 bitties. I appreciate the love and the support. Welcome. And you were here earlier, I remember seeing your name in chat actually. You've not just come in. Game looks gorgeous, excited to see more. Thank you, Coda, I appreciate it. We're trying our best. I mean, what we got so far is just main quest 1 and 2. We are having to redo the scenes for main quest 1 and 2, or should I say copy and paste, because we've recently done a new project and everything's getting copied and pasted over because it was a mess. That old project was. I'm redoing all the event organisation and variable organisation, so it's a lot tidier now, and things are going to just have to be smoothed and tidied up in regards to main quest 1 and 2. And eventually we'll be putting branching side quests as well from this area we'll have NPCs living here that give out side quests where you can set off on different parts of the maps to do those side quests. And we've got, I think we'll have another 2 main quests as well in episode 1, 3 and 4, but they won't be in the first playable build. Of course, you're only going to see main quest 1 and 2 in the first playable build, and no side quests either. All that will be implemented in future playable builds. Thank you for that follow, Milk. I appreciate that. Welcome to the stream. So yeah, when Playable Build 1 comes out, which is at the end of this year, is the plan, because everything will probably be, I don't want to rush myself, I want to take my time and make sure it's tidy and as good as possible. It'll be just basic, and it'll be slowly built upon until episode 1 gets released. But yes, we've got a lot of cool brainstorm discussion streams coming up. We get Trello up again, guys. Trello's the best thing ever if you didn't know. If you do game dev yourself or creative work in general, it's a really good thing to organise your stuffs. So I kind of planned all the months actually, and in fact I'm going to get rid of, we'll just have the Christmas tree there. I'm kind of thinking of December release. I don't want to say November because Cyberpunk's coming out in November, and I'm not going to lie, I am going to buy that game and play it. I don't want to have to release something that important when I'm playing Cyberpunk. So we'll say late 2020, December. Yeah, so the job is to get all this stuff done and have the odd like discussion stream in between for the next set of content that will be coming, that we'll be doing for Playable Build version 2, which Playable version 2, whenever that comes out, probably in the spring maybe of next year, we'll probably have main quest 3 in it, maybe a side quest or 2, have to say. But yeah, we need we need to start getting playable builds out every season or so. So we've got people to task for us and get a feel of the game, so we can help it be as awesome as possible for the actual full episode release, official episode release. How are you doing those cool little custom labels? I use Trello too, and it helps so much. It's the best thing ever, isn't it? I get excited just looking at Trello, and it's because of the labels why I get excited. How geeky am I? But how do you do them now? Labels. Yeah, there should be a label section here, and it lets you just name them and add them here. I don't think it's that. Once you get used to the software, they're pretty easy to figure out. So just have a look, click on that, and that should be there. I hope it's there for you, like it is for me. Look, if anyone couldn't make a plan and stick to it, it's you. You got that trailer out when a lot of people would have just pushed the date back. I know, right, Sexy? I could have just been like, oh, stuff this, I'm going to just do it next month instead. But I didn't. I made sure to get it out. I get very determined, I do. When I say I'm going to do something, I don't like to let myself down, because it makes me feel awesome when I do it then. Trello. I used to use that, but moved to GitLab since my projects are gitted. Oh, okay. Interesting. I couldn't see me ever switching from Trello because it's just too beautiful. I use Trello too for some work projects. Yay! Didn't know you could add little graphics. Oh, these are just emojis. Yeah, I just copy emojis from Google or Emojipedia or wherever. Just to make it look a little bit more visual. It's just a visual preference for me to use lots of emojis. And I've kind of got into the theme of giving the seasons their own emojis. Nice. You're one of those people, Zexy. Oh, I believe in you. I'm going to do a trivia in chat, guys, because I promised and I've been completely not doing it. Oh my god, no one's going to get that question. Van got it. My goodness, Van. Okay, so points. Van Delia 1. You're going to be Lore Master. I don't know if anyone's going to catch up now. We'll say, won't we? I feel like, I mean, I don't know. What do you guys think of the trivia? Do you think, do you like the rules as they are? Or do you think we should do something to make like the runners up, give them a bit more chance that people don't give up, if that makes sense? I'm trying to think, because, you know, it's going pretty well so far, but I don't want people to lose interest because they're thinking, oh, Van's got it now, I've got no chance. I feel like, yeah, that somehow maybe the runners-up should be encouraged to some degree, but I don't know how. Can't think. I hear you say trivia, my brain plugs in the lore, yay. Does the Lore Master of the Month pose next month's challenges? Next month's challenges? What would next month's challenges be? I'm curious now. I haven't accused the trivia. Who's Carol? Well, here's our Lore Bible Classic, because all the trivia questions that we do, it's all Raindrop Chronicles lore. It's just my way of getting you guys massive nerds on our game and our lore, because our game is going to be a very lore rich game. It's going to be very lore rich, so that's the plan. It's still very early days right now. Our lore is, we've got a bit of it, and what's in the Lore Bible is what's there, but I think that is something exciting about a community project, not just the game and building the game to get like ideas of the game together, but the actual lore as well, like coming up with cool lore together. So if you want to get nerdy on the lore, there's the link for that. I'm fine with how the trivia is right now, but I'm not someone who plays trivia games, so I'm not the target audience. Yeah, so we will just have to have a think, won't we? Because if there is any potential ideas to make the trivia work even better than it is, then I'm all ears. And hi Rex, how you doing? How's the stream going today? Not too bad, apart from my crazy neighbour. I'm trying to be quiet because he might knock on the door and kill me. But yeah, apart from my neighbour, we're good, aren't we, guys? We've had some good chats today. Homework. You see lore as homework. Tut tut tut. Is Lore Master a permanent or temp title? It's a monthly title, guys. So if, say, Vandalia wins on the 31st of August at the end of stream, because that'll be the last day of the month, then you will get the Lore Master title in our Discord. In our users section, which you can't see because they're hidden right now. Unless I do that, you can see them poking out a bit. It's going to be high up. It's going to be above blood drops, of course, and it'll be a special Lore Master role that you will have. I don't know what colour to make it yet, and you will have it for the month until we get the next Lore Master. And then they will have it. So the only way it could be permanent is if you keep winning every single month, then you'll have it permanently until someone takes the title off you by winning. The leaderboard will reset to 0 at the end of every month anyway. So there's always a chance when a new month comes that others can have a go and potentially get the Lore Master for that month. So that's kind of how it is at the moment. Chrono Cross music, love it. Yes, Azriel likes Chrono Cross, and that is the soundtrack that had to be added because it's a good one. I'm glad you like it, Azriel. Sorry, random. Oh, it's never a random comment. I like it, guys, if you mention the songs in the background. And mention that you like them, because then I know I've got good taste in music. I mean, once I get it, do I have to do the lore next month or what? If you want to keep the title for the following month, then yes. Otherwise, it will go to the person who's top of the leaderboard for the next month. But you'll get into the swing of it. If it's confusing at first, you would just watch and say, and you'll figure it out. Because I'm pretty fast with it and others are needing time to look up stuff, make it orange. Yeah, I thought giving it a sort of gold colour would be good, because I want the colour to link to lore. Like, and I always think lore gold is fitting, like sort of yellowy orange, something like that. Could be a good colour for a lore related name. I'll jump in next month too. Yeah, so say for example, Van, if you think I'm going to skip on next month, I'm not going to bother, then that will mean someone else will snatch it from you for September. It would be September, wouldn't it, next month? And then at on the last day of September, they'll get the title in the Discord. Then they'll have it instead. The role will get given to them. So it's monthly. I think that'll sum it up. It's changeable every month, but I do intend to make an archive list eventually and put it somewhere. I'm not sure where, whether we'd make a Discord channel for it over time, so that we can all look back on the history of Lore Masters. It'll have the month and the year and who got it on each of those months. So what has your neighbour done? He's giving me a lot of grief, and I don't like it, so we're moving. We're moving house. I told you about it the other week, didn't I, that we're going to be moving, but I don't know when. It might be not till next year, because it might take a while to sell the house. We just don't know. We don't know how long that would take, but it's on the agenda. They're building birdhouses daily, never-ending houses for birds. You like birds, don't you, National? I can tell. We are going to have birds in Raindrop Chronicles, guys, because we need wildlife. You got to have wildlife in a forest like this. And do you think it'd be cool seeing birds? I'm trying to think, like, because we want to have wildlife, but if we're going to do it, like, my personal preference would be for it to be like help with immersion, like to even give animals their own daily sort of cycles on the map. I have no idea how, I would implement that yet, but yeah, I'd think the way. And because we've got an open map now, that would be possible, I think. So that you could spend your day stalking animals in Raindrop Chronicles if you wanted. The same way you could stalk NPCs, because that I think would be cool if they have daily cycles too. I'm stealing your labelling system because it's way better than mine now. My Trello is pretty. Yeah, I'm glad I inspired you. I'm glad that you've got pretty labels now because of me. Alrighty then. I read that one, didn't I? I always have a habit of rereading chat comments because I'm silly. The usual Rex hammering on the wall. Yeah, guess everyone will have to study. See, I don't see it as homework because I'm a geek. Law to me is a pleasure and the opposite of homework. But I guess it just depends on perspective. Not everybody's as nerdy as me. But my job is to turn you all into nerds. Because I think it's exciting. I think it's nice to see people get excited about your lore and story. I'll buy it as long as you take your neighbours with you. I'm not taking him with me. I don't ever see him ever again. I found some MV sprite assets for animals. Should I link idea discussion, or do you prefer to look for stuff yourself? Yeah, I mean, it doesn't hurt to have the option and seeing what there is sexy out there. So feel free to pop that in ideas discussion. I'm not sure when we'll start the stream where we actually put the wildlife in. It will have to be once I've already done all the stuff, like the cutscene stuff, maybe just so I don't do too much all at once. But it's on the agenda. It's sometime between. I mean, will we have wildlife in the first playable build? I haven't even considered that, because at the first playable build, I was honestly just thinking it would just be Main Quest 1 and 2 in a completely boring forest with probably just enemies in it at most, and no NPCs apart from Nigel and his sister, and Fruits, of course, and Carol, and Rose. But I thought maybe add the wildlife and NPCs for the next playable build, but it's hard to say because the first playable build is going to be something we're going to be polishing for the next few months, isn't it? And I can definitely see us. It's hard with features because we'll see where it goes. Because we'll probably have time over the next few months to think about those things, even if we don't implement it immediately. I can see us having discussions and brainstorm streams, but not actually starting the implementations part until we've got the first build out of the way. Laura's amazing. I'm glad you think so, Rex. Rose, the queen of nerds. Yes. Depends what you're nerdy about, because there's some things I'm really not nerdy about and get bored from. But when it comes to RPGs, stories and lore and all that kind of thing, yes, I am a nerd. A big, massive one. Right. I'm struggling to do any work today because I'm so tired. So I'm not enjoying the chats that we're having, to be honest. It's nice. But I forgot what we were doing because we've been talking for so long now. I'm like, what were we even doing on this map? I know we're doing the interiors, aren't we? Yeah. I was once called a trendy geek, so I'm geeky, but also cool. Interesting. That's an interesting one. Trend is a weird one. Like, if someone said I was trendy, I'd be insulted. But I think a lot of people would see that word as a compliment, because it is probably a compliment. But I'd actually be insulted because I'm alternative, you see. So I think that's probably why, because I don't follow trends. But it generally is seen as a compliment. The music from this title, what do you have to do to make interiors? You like the music that's on National? Oh yeah, so as for interiors, I mean, we've been discussing a little bit this stream because that's like next on the agenda really, because the job is to tidy up Main Quest 1 and 2. That's kind of priority for it. Now we've done the map improvements and we need the interiors because that's where Nigel is. Fiona's brother, he's the one who gives us the first main quest and he's in the inn, so we need to start the interiors, otherwise we've got no main quest 1. So yes, we have to do them again on the tile map, so it's an easy enough job. In all honesty, it's as simple as looking at our old maps, which is here. These are our interiors that on our old maps, and just picking out the tiles that we need and putting them on a tile set, and then just putting them on tiled, and then they're done. So that's going to be something we'll work on, and probably on Friday's stream I'll be polishing them as well. So it'll be fun. I'm excited. And at the moment we've got NPCs in there, and we'll talk a bit more about the NPCs in the near future at some point in the coming weeks and flesh them out. Thank you Inpachi for the follow. Welcome to the stream, everybody. Welcome. I appreciate the follows, guys. But yeah, I'm being lazy today, and even though we're talking about doing the interiors, I'm kind of not doing them because I'm tired. So I'm going to show off this instead because I'd love us to get to 70 likes, folks. So anybody who wants to see a really cool trailer of our game, especially if you're new here and you've never seen anything about a game ever before, then this is the perfect thing to look at right now to find out what it's all about. That's a good idea. Give folks a reason to make a few NPCs with their raindrops. I forgot what I said, Van, about the NPCs now. Did I say something? Because I completely forgot the context. My brain is mush. I like the trailer, yay. I'm glad. But yes, I mean, you mentioned NPCs as in community NPCs. I think that's what you're on about now. We made, obviously, some non-community NPCs. We've populated the game, the area of Lakefall with them at the moment, and they were made in like Stream 2, very early days, some of these NPCs, and they might need a complete refreshing for all we know, so they're more relevant now with the game that we've built since, because it's been a while since we've revisited that. So back to RPG Maker. This is our old project file, by the way, with the old map, because that's the one we have with the NPCs in at the moment. Having a stream about the NPCs. Oh yeah, that's true. So you meant it'll give people more encouragement to get to grind for raindrops. Also, we need to chat about the story elements mentioned already. Yeah. So I try not to do too much at once, because if we start talking about NPCs and main quest 3 as early as now, might be a bit overwhelming, because there's still a lot of work to do with getting things polished on our new project and map. So I always think one step at a time. But when things slow down a bit, and when I'm thinking this is nice, all sorted and tidied up now, I'll probably be more willing to start a brainstorm stream and talk about all these exciting things that we need to talk about. It's Chrono Cross. We got the title up there, guys. Mate, I did it for you. I did it for all of you, so you could see the song that's playing. Because I think it's really nice to know what song's in the background. Zayka, thank you for the follow. Welcome. Didn't see that. You know, you're not the first, Niall. You're not the first to have not seen that. I've had a few pop in say, oh, that song's playing. And I'm like, guys, there's a thing up there. So, yeah. I really like the Chrono Cross soundtrack. It's a popular one, Gretch. Funnily enough, a few of you, I think it's Azriel and Rex's favourite game soundtrack. So yeah, it is a popular one. It has some very nice tracks in it though. It's a nice soundtrack and underrated game. Yeah. Chrono Trigger is always the one that's talked about, isn't it? Usually. Look at the top left corner. Yeah, top left. Isn't that where most people look first? But yeah, I've not made it too large because I don't want my overlay to be messy, you know. I want it to be this like little subtle thing in the corner. Alright guys, so I will say though, because Van did mention NPCs as well, and I will probably add at least 1 or 2 community NPCs into Lakefall and Everbloom Forest. And it'll be the ones that are most appropriate to be in this area. I'm going to get our tile map up instead, because that's That is really, and this is our new map. So there's one character in particular, an NPC that's in our game that sticks out to me that should be here, and in Everbloom Forest, though not Lakefall. And that would be Kung's character. She's an elf, and because Lakefall is going to only be human populated, she wouldn't be in Lakefall, she'd be in the actual forest. And perhaps like anyone who isn't human wouldn't be in Lakefall. That is one rule we've got and talked about and established, because there's going to be a reptile and human conflict going on. And we have a cave as well where the reptiles live. So we've got a few things talked about, but I'm not going to go on about that now, because we're going to have a proper story discussion stream when we have a brainstorm stream. And when I start talking about things, the next half an hour we end up talking about it, which is fine. Sometimes, you know, you guys can come up with cool ideas in the process. But yes, it'd be cool to like actually have a proper dedicated stream for those sort of chats. It's also moving, and the eye is naturally drawn to movement. Yeah, I thought so too, but some people watch me on mobile as well, and the screen's super small, and then it's probably not as noticeable then. Hi Kate Keenan, how are you doing? Welcome. I seem to look for face first. Oh yeah, that's probably true, because I'm at the opposite end. Yeah. My goodness, guys, I'm a sleepy one today. I might end stream a touch earlier. Not yet, I still want to chat a bit longer. But I am tired, because I was working myself up to death on that trailer, and I did consider cancelling stream today because I was so tired. I spent all of yesterday in bed, but I thought, nah, I'm gonna stream. And I'm glad I did, because I met some cool new peeps today who've come in and said hi. Got a chance to talk more about our trailer that we've released, and we've barely made a start on the interiors, but it's that's what we're doing, focusing on at the moment. That's what I'll be working on off stream as well, guys. Just getting those interiors added, as well as all the scenes. I've bullet pointed them as well, all the scenes. So it'd be the one in the inn, the lake scene, the cabin scene, Carol's flashback scene, and the meat in the fruit scene. So all those bullet pointed scenes here, I'm going to make sure they're all implemented. All the dialogues there, they're smooth. There's nothing weird about them. And then once they're done, I'll probably start to feel like we can, like, you know, expand and think about what's coming next more. I'll be in more of a mindset to do that then. Because the only other stuff we'll have at that point to do is just like little stuff like this, like UI things, and the battle mechanics, which I've already said that's something ongoing, and I'm not like thinking, oh, that has to be perfect just yet. So yes, and oh guys, we hit the 70. Thank you for the love. Coffee and ice are great ways to wake oneself up. Yeah, I had a latte today, and lattes aren't very strong, but they're my favourite coffees. I like them. They're yummy. Are there Western Cliffs on the map? Should we have a peek? There's cliffs everywhere. It's cliffy everywhere. So the west is this way, isn't it? So yes, I mean, the goal is for everywhere that looks like you can walk to will be explorable, because I really don't like invisible walls. You guys know what I mean by invisible walls, I'm assuming. In some games there's invisible walls. You see somewhere, you look like you can walk to it, but you actually can't. You get stopped and you're like, oh, damn it. But I would love, I've challenged myself to say that everywhere that you can walk, that you can get to, realistically, you can actually go as a player in Raindrop Chronicles. So these particular sections here, for example, at the moment they're blocked off, I believe, because we've got cliff in the way. We have a cliff here and cliffs here. But yeah, we have a ladder here. So anywhere that there's a ladder and a bridge you can get to. If there's cliffs in the way, it means you can't go there, of course. So right now it's not an option to walk on these areas, but eventually it might be. You never know if eventually you'll have an opportunity to go up here. We just haven't got to that part just yet. We haven't got the chance of making that a reachable area. But everywhere that you can see where you can walk to, you can. And the only invisible wall we have at the moment in Raindrop Chronicles is this bit here. This is an invisible wall, because this path looks like you can carry on walking, but we haven't actually made the map yet, the border section for this, but we will eventually. I take caffeine pills, they work best. Oh, interesting. I've never had those. But I don't suffer from getting tired, in all honesty, guys. Don't get worried about me, because I'm one of these people that generally have a lot of energy. I can stay up really late. I actually struggle to get to sleep most times because my mind is always like this. I have too much to sleep. But when I've been working extra hard, it happens to us all. We're only human at the end of the day, not robots. I have a question on a similar vein. What do you do about edge of the world situations? Oh, so that is kind of the invisible wall thing, isn't it? Because we've only got, because we're so early in game development, and we've only got 7 maps so far, which are like merged together, of course, to make one big map. We haven't got to that challenge yet about edge of the world, because Everbloom Forest, I mean, we've got cliffs. Cliffs and water are great because they're the perfect excuse to stop you from getting to places. So yeah, water and cliffs. If you want to stop your player from walking somewhere, yeah, put some water or a cliff there. And that's the thing. We've done this. We've made this little section here where you can see trees on the top of the cliff, but you can't actually walk there because you can't reach it. But as far as the player knows, that a whole big world is out there because they can see the trees. So it gives the illusion that there's a big world out there. But of course, because there's cliffs in the way, you can't get up unless you get a ladder, of course. But the game would have to allow that and have it as an option. So yeah, that's my rule. Simple rule is anywhere that the player can walk that doesn't have cliffs and water in the way, they should be able to get to. So, like I said, the only place so far that I've failed to do that with is this section right here. But everywhere else either has water or a cliff in the way. And I'm assuming the end of the Everbloom Forest is here. This is kind of the exit that would lead to the next part of the world, the next region, which is probably going to be farmland. Which we're not going to just suddenly have farmland. We're going to blend it as best as we can when we make the next map. But we don't know, there might be actually more Everbloom Forest here. We might get quite ambitious and want to expand the area because we might have side quests where we want to have these maps dedicated to. So there's a lot of potential to just fill it out and expand if we wish. What I've done for one of my games is basically have obstacles to stop the player from going too far, or a gate to send them to another scene, and basically design the level as far as the camera can see. It took me so long to come to that decision, but I'm not sure if I'm 100% happy on it. That sounds pretty good to me. I think the obstacles, as long as it doesn't obviously look like you've just stuck it there for that reason, as long as you do it in a clever way where it's not so blatantly obvious that you've just put it there because the player can't go there, then you're fine. So if you do your best to blend the object into the world so it doesn't seem obvious, and I think that's a good approach, which is why it's cliffs and water for me, because the Everbloom Forest has tons of them and they're the perfect thing to stop you from walking places that you can't. But yes, that sounds like a good thing, and I think it's a really important thing as a designer to think about not having invisible walls. It's not necessary. I mean, some people don't make a fuss about it and they're like, it doesn't matter, but I always like to go that one step further because I want to try my best to make an immersive experience here. And someone in the last stream says it doesn't matter if you have black edges and that. Someone said that to me because at the moment these grey sections show up black if the player walks up too far, because obviously we haven't done the other maps yet, so that's what shows up black. Once we fill them up, we won't have that problem, of course. And I was like, yeah, it kind of sucks out in some places. There's black bits, but it's only there temporarily, so it's fine. And then someone in chat says it's no big deal having black bits. People won't notice. And I was like, but really, it kind of is a big deal. Some giant boulders by a cliff edge and rivers and access to the town urban area is a broken cart. Interesting. If you want to put a screenshot over in the creative work section, you're more than welcome to, because I am curious to see how you've dealt with it. The blending between forest and farm would be paddies wet farmland. Yeah, you know what I mean, it's way ahead before we'll ever do that map, because it's going to be more episode 2 content when we get to that farm. I mean, we've already seen it in Carol's flashback, haven't we? So we know what it looks like. But when it comes to actually connecting it to the Everbloom Forest so us as a player can go there, it won't be until we've completely finished all Everbloom Forest content. But it's going to be fun. I am excited, and it excites me to think of how we'll blend those maps together, because I think that's one thing that gets me really hype, the idea of making a big world with lots of different biomes and blending them together so it looks like one big world. And I think that's super cool, super exciting, and it's hard not to get carried away and be like, oh my goodness, I kind of sometimes want to do the farm now, but I can't, because you have to focus on what you're currently doing. And in the current episode, we can't think about episode 2 and 3 and 4 and get ahead of ourselves before we've even done episode 1. And we've got to make episode 1 the best experience possible, so that we're in a good position come episode 2 and 3 for our game. And who knows, maybe I'll be more financially stable by then. Don't even know, but that would be wonderful if things are a little bit easier come episode 2 onwards. So I'm going to do my damn best to make episode 1 and this whole Everbloom Forest saga fantastic with you guys. And this is why I'm excited to make side quests and next part of the main quest, so that we can get our heads together and come up with the most beautiful little stories possible, and I'm going to be strict about it. We're going to shortlist, we're going to get harsh on that shortlisting, and only the bestest of side quests will come through, and we'll likely do polls often to make decisions if we've got multiple ideas and things. So be prepared for some really fun brainstorming streams come September and October time, and probably November as well. Throughout the fall we'll do them now and again, and in between that I'll be perfecting this, ready for the first playable build. And I think it comes down to style. If you are making an active choice to use the black space as a way to augment the art style, that's fine. If you have black space because you can't think of anything to put there, less good. Exactly, Zexy. If it fits with, you know, that's the art style anyway, and then yeah, but if it looks weird and completely doesn't look fitting with the world and it just looks like being a lazy designer, then yeah, it's not impressive at all. And people do notice, because some players might not, but there's always going to be players out there that do notice, so you got to make sure you make. But in all honesty, it's not about what the player notices for me. I just want to make it good because I want to make something good. I do it from a perspective of pleasing myself rather than the player, if that makes sense. I mean, obviously you think of the player, but I have high expectations myself anyway, so I just think, well, what do I like? Do I think that looks bad? And if I think it looks bad, then chances are other people will too anyway, because I'm a massive perfectionist. And if something isn't quite right, I'm likely to spot it. If you need a barrier for that area, maybe it's flooded currently on that side. Yeah, it's going to be at some point, and I can imagine it being when with because we're going to want these black edges to be filled before we release the first playable build. Even if we don't make the full map, we don't have to make the full rectangle for them. We can just do the border enough that the player will be able to see on the screen. We can just do the border part if necessary. And I think, and we can like have little chats about what could go there. I'm sure I'm going to copy and paste some of the ideas you mentioned actually. But I think it'll be the last thing we do in terms of the perfecting of might not be the actual last thing we do, but I think scenes is priority right now. But it might be something we do before we completely deal with the battle system side of things actually. So maybe side quests, well, not side quests, main quests first and the scenes, getting them done, and then thinking of filling in the borders and then the battles, maybe that order maybe. Because yeah, we do not want to release the playable build with blooming obvious black lines. Like I've said, I don't expect playable build 1 to be perfection and a masterpiece. It's going to be rough around the edges because it's the first one. It's going to be bare. It's going to be very basic compared to what it'll become the end. But I at least want it to be not a total, complete, utter mess. So yes. Okay, so I've copied and pasted those things. Right guys, really cool chatty stream today, super awesome. I'm glad I streamed and didn't cancel due to my tiredness. Thank you for the love on the tweet as well, everybody. We're gonna pass the love to somebody that's online though, so I think it'd be super lovely if you guys come with me for that. So I'm gonna have a look who's on. Thank you for the stream, you're welcome. I'm gonna put a trivia in chat for you guys while I'm looking for somebody to give that raid to. In fact, expect that as a pattern at the end of stream, wanted me to pop a question in before we end. Have a fun one, Rose. Yeah, thank you for hanging out. Blueberry, yeah. Who else knew that one? There we go. Well done, Van. Okay. Either I've started following a lot more people recently, or there's just way more streamers on Twitch lately. Because I feel like it takes me forever to look through who's on. So I'm looking to see if anyone is playing any interesting games that are online. What's catching my eye today? Right on, I gotta bounce. Cheers, gang. Take care, Vagabond. Have an awesome day. Thanks for the chats and being fab. You take care. Alright, so just so you know, guys, between now and Friday's stream, I'm going to be continuing to make sure that the scenes are implemented, and I'll be working on the interiors so I can do the inn scene and the cabin scene, because those are two of the scenes for the first main quest. So that will be what I'll be doing. It'll be all about getting them done. Notice Monday, Wednesday, Friday seem to be busy days on Twitch. Yeah, for sure. I like streaming every other day, and it's a nice schedule. It gives me that little bit of a break in between streams. Okay, guys, so I'm just gonna mute Twitch. I'm gonna go in some streams because I like to make sure that they haven't gone off the streamer as I was already. Because sometimes that's happened in the past. I've gone and raided someone and I've gone offline a second. So, guys, Dragon Age Origins. I've always wanted to play that game, but I've never got round to it. Someone who's online right now, who I'm following, is playing Dragon Age Origins modded. So we'll go to their stream. Who's played Dragon Age Origins here? I mean, you're all RPG geeks, I'm assuming. I'd be shocked if a lot of you haven't, and I'm ashamed to say that I haven't. I really am ashamed, considering I'm meant to be an RPG fan. Okay. I played it, still need to finish. You've played Origins and Inquisition. It's one of the games that have been on my list to play for so long now, because I loved Mass Effect, and I think I would like this too, especially because it's fantasy. So yeah, that game caught my eye, and the streamer's really cool too. He's from England as well, fellow British streamer. So we'll go and raid him, and I'll see you guys on Friday. Have a good rest of your week, everybody. Take care, you awesome people.